everyone. Let us continue learning C++ programming. In our previous video, we have discussed about the C++ standard template library and we started off with our container components. And we are done with the first standard template library, that is pairs. Now in this video, we'll discuss a lot in detail about vector containers in C++ standard template library. Let's get started. Now, vectors are a very crucial component in C++ programming as it is used as a direct replacement for arrays in C++ programming. Vectors are same as dynamic arrays with the ability to resize itself automatically when an element is inserted or deleted, with their storage being automatically handled by the container. Vector elements are placed in a contiguous storage so that they can be accessed and traversed by iterators. In vectors, data is inserted at the end, and inserting data at the end takes a differential time as there may be a need to extend the existing array. But removing the last element takes a constant time because there requires no resizing of the memory. Inserting and erasing at the beginning or in the middle is linear in time. Some of the iterator functions that are associated with vectors are: number one, begin function, which returns an iterator pointing to the first element of the vector; end function, which returns an iterator pointing to the last element of the vector; and similarly we have rbegin, rend, cbegin, cend, crbegin and crend. Let us see what each of these functions can do with the program as an example. Let's get started. Let's quickly create our first file with the name of vectors.cpp, and let's start with our header file include #include iostream, and also the header file which is required for the vectors, and using the namespace, the standard namespace. Let's begin with the main function. Let's create a vector here, vector, which takes the template and contains integer numbers in it, and the name as VEC. In order to add values to this vector, for int I is equal to 0, I randomly insert 5 numbers into the vector, where I say VEC dot push underscore back is a function to add values to the vector, which I'll add it as a temporary variable, which I read from the user in t, cin of t. So I read a value of t from the user, 5 different values, and that is being pushed back into your vector. Now let us see how we can iterate through the vector. For auto, which is a type of storage class we use for iterators, I is equal to VEC dot begin, which tells the starting of the vector, and I not equal to VEC dot end, and I keep incrementing the I vector, and every single point of time I just print the pointer value with a star operator, and after printing the value I print a short space after it, and post printing it I'll just type return 0 on it. So let's clear the screen, compile the file with g++ vectors.cpp-o vector. Since no error message being printed on the screen, we can say the compilation is successful. Let's run the file vector, and we need to enter 5 different numbers: 56, 67, 89, 21 and 13. So I've given 5 number inputs, and you can see it is printed in order, the same order in which I entered. So it is going from beginning to the end. Now let us talk about rbegin and rend. Rbegin and rend. Okay, what these two functions can do, let's see. Let's compile it. Run the file again, vector. Let us try entering the same input. So I'll copy paste it. Now you can see the iterator has gone in the reverse order. So it says reverse begin and reverse end. So rbegin literally starts from the right extreme of the vector and reaches in every value in an incrementing pointer order and prints till the first of the pointer. Now, apart from these two functions of begin end and r begin and r end, we have two more pairs of function, which is c begin c end and cr begin and cr end, which basically talks about constant begin functions and constant end functions. Now, the purpose of constant is nothing but now if there is a scenario where I would like to change the value star I is equal to 23, I'm changing it and I'm printing it, or I'll separate the operations. I'll change it in the first trial. I'll run the same loop once again. Or else I'll change it as okay 23 itself, or I'll take a common incrementation pointer in t is equal to 0. I'll store t plus plus in it. I'll copy the same loop again. So this time I'll run it with begin and end functionality. I'll simply print the values in it. C out star I and a semicolon to end. Okay. Let's clear the screen. Let's compile it. Let's run the vector file. Now I provide a common input of 12, 56, 30, 43, 23, and 11. And the values are 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 because it is stored from the right extreme and as values has been replaced to 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So because I'm storing the right begin function, I'm starting from the right extreme and I'm storing 0, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now let us talk about changing the functionality of C begin and C end, which is the constant begin and constant end functions. Let us see what these can do. Now here is a point which you have to understand. Look at this part. Earlier we were able to alter the values in the pointers, okay? Because we had r begin and r end, but when we use C begin, C as a component, C says it is constant, so we cannot change it. We have only rights to read and print it. We cannot go alter the values inside the constant pointer. Now this star I is basically a constant pointer. So for the functions of C begin and C end or CR begin and CR end, for both of these kind of functions, the functionality to alter the value is not possible. We'll be only able to read the input, read the data in the vector with the help of CR begin and CR end, as well as C begin and C end. So this is not possible. Let us try with C begin and C end. Let's save it. Let's clear the screen. Let's compile it once more and run it up again. Here I provide again some set of numbers. So it is printed as it is. And what about CR begin and CR end is still the same. I'll run the file. I'll just copy it and paste it once more. It does the same. It reads from the reverse order. Apart from these iterator functions, the vectors also provides some of the capacity related functions, and those are size, max size, capacity, resize, empty, shrink to fit, and reverse. And all these functions are more similar to what we have seen in our previous videos of string libraries. And the functions in short are size function, which provides the size of the vector here. Max underscore size, it tells you the maximum size of vector we can store. And it also tells you the capacity of it. And it gives a privilege to resize it. And gives an option to empty the existing vector. And finally, in order to shrink it, shrink to fit. And last one is to reverse the whole vector. These are some of the capacity oriented functions of vectors. Let us run each of these functions and see what's the output we could get. Let's get it done. So I'm constructing a common vector of type integers and I'll name it as VEC. So I'll randomly push some values into the vector. Dot pushback of 23. I'll copy paste the line on multiple times. So I'll push some random numbers to it. 56, 34, 21, 19, and 17. So I have pushed about 6 numbers to it. So let us get the output of each and every functions here. So cout VEC dot size, and we end with a new line character. Let's do it for the maximum size as well. Let's do it for the capacity too. Now let us string to fit the vector VEC dot string to fit, and post fitting it, let us find the capacity of it or the size of it. Yeah. Let's end with the return 0 statement, and let's have a quick output of these vector functionalities. Let's compile the file first, g++vector.cpp-vector. The compilation is successful. So let's run the file called vector. So the initial size was 6. There were 6 elements, and the maximum capacity, as you could see, it supports a very longer size when compared to your conventional arrays. And the capacity is set to the nearest 2-power expression. So nearest greatest 2-power expression to 6 is 8, because the 2-power expression starts from 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. So nearest is 8. And when you string to fit it, after stringing to fit, the size is still 6. Let us talk about the capacity again. After stringing to fit it, let's talk about the capacity. Okay, so let's compile, run things again. Now you could see when you string to fit it, the capacity also becomes 6. The earlier capacity was 8, and when you string to fit it, the capacity becomes 6. So this is size, this is maximum size, this is capacity, and this is capacity after string to fit. And this is all about accessing the capacity of the vector. Now let's talk about accessing the elements of the vector. So for this particular vector, which we have on the screen right now, we have got 6 elements. If I wanted to access, say, the third element in the vector, it is very similar the way you access it in our arrays with a square bracket of 3, which talks about the element in the third index, where the indexing basically starts from 0. Let's run the file. It says 21. So this is at the 0th index. This will be my first index. This is second, and this is third. So it accesses the same way you can access your arrays here. So it's as similar to the array access. And we can also access element with the help of at functionality. Dot at of, I have to provide some position here. So the position is, I'm providing the 4th position. So element in the 4th position. So the obvious output I'm expecting here is 19. Let's compile it, run things again. It gives me 19. So I can access it with the help of indexing as well. And we can also use a front and back pointers functions to get the values which is at the front. And similarly, I'll print one more time where I end with the new line character, and this is for the back functionality. Okay, let's compile and run things again. So it gives you 23 and 27. 23 is the element in the front, and 27 is the element at the back. And some of the modifier vector functionalities are assign, Pushback, as we already know, which is used to insert value to the vector at the rear end. Pop back is basically the function to pop the last item of the vector. And insert is the function which is used to insert at the specified index of the vector. Erase is the function which is used to delete a specific value from the vector. Swap is used to swap the contents of one vector with another vector of same types. Size may differ. Clear is used to clear the vector. Emplace is another function which extends the container by inserting new elements at the position. And emplace back is another similar function, and the only difference is the new element is being inserted at the rear end. Let us rush through each of these functions. First, let us pop back. Let us delete the other functionalities. I'll clear the screen, compile it. Pop back function cannot be printed. Let's just pop back it and then print the vector in order to see what is being stored. So for auto, let us use the iterators here. Auto I is equal to VEC dot begin, I not equal to VEC dot end, and I plus plus. We simply see out each elements with the pointer and a space after it. Let's clear the screen, compile it once again. Let's run the file. And when I run it, you can very well see the 27 value is not there because I have popped back the element which is at the last position. Now let us talk about inserting it. VEC, instead of pop back, I'll say insert. So we have to provide a iterator which, as the first object. So I'll say VEC dot begin, comma, instead of 23 in the beginning part, I will replace the number with 51. Let us see what is the output we get here. Let us compile it. Run this again. So you can see the first element is replaced with 51 because the iterator I have provided it is nothing but the beginning iterator. The VEC begin iterator. Okay. Now that is all about inserting it. When you want to erase it, I'll call the value 21. 21 is supposed to be erased. I'll compile it. Oh, sorry, the function has to be made to erase function. Let's compile it. Okay, erase off. I have to provide the iterator here. V dot begin of plus 3. So I'll remove the element at the third index. Let's compile it. Okay, so the name is VEC. Let's run it up again. As you can very well see, the element at the third index, which is 21, is being removed. So 23, 56, 34, and it goes as 19 and 27. So the value of 21 is removed because I've removed the value at the third index. I've erased it off. So the erase function takes an iterator as its argument. So erase is being done, and the rest of the functions as clear, emplace back are again a similar functionality of storing and retrieving it. And the function we have seen so far are the primitive and important components of the vector classes. Hope the ideas of vector container in C++ standard template library is clearly understood. See you in the next part of the video. Thanks for watching.